Okay, so we're going on to writing expressions and formulas, and this is normally something which isn't done terribly well in maths GCSEs. Not because it's particularly difficult, but because it just involves you really examining what the wording is asking you to do, thinking about how you would do that with numbers, and then doing it with letters. So let's have a look at an example. So the first example is a cookery example, and we're told that to roast a chicken, it takes 45 minutes plus 30 minutes for each kilogram. So if, for example, I had a 2 kilogram chicken, I would do 30 times 2 and I would need to add on my 45. If I had a 5 kilogram chicken, I'd need to do 30 times by 5 and add on 45. All it's asking us to do now is to write a formula for the time taken to roast a chicken with a particular mass. So it's asking us to write a rule to work out how long it takes to cook a chicken of a particular mass. Well, let's think about how we would present that as a flow diagram. So I would take my mass, however many kilograms it is, and for each kilogram I would need to multiply that by 30 minutes, because it's 30 minutes for each kilo. So times it by 30 minutes, and then I'd need to add on my 45 minutes, which is what any chicken needs. And that is then going to give us our total time. So I can say that the time, T, is equal to whatever the mass is, M, times by 30, and add 45. We can write that slightly more neatly. Rather than m times 30 we normally just write as 30m. So T is equal to 30m plus 45. And that's an example of writing a formula. So something, my output, is equal to something I do to my input. It's the same as in a function machine. Let's have a look at the second one. It's slightly different because in this case it asks me to write an expression. Remember, in an expression I shouldn't see any equal sign. So I'm told that Alfie is A years old. Bertie is 2 years older than Alfie. So I'm going to just start by writing those down. Alfie is A. Bertie is 2 more than A. So I'm going to write that as A plus 2. Charlie is double Alfie's age. So I take my A and times it by 2. And that's 2A. Charlie is then going to be 2A. Write an expression for their combined ages. So I'm going to add them all up. So I can write that as A plus A plus 2 for Bertie, plus 2A for Charlie. I've got A plus 2A gives me 4A plus my 2. 4A plus 2 is the answer for the combined ages. Pause the video now, make sure you've got those worked examples written down and understood, and then I'm going to set some questions for you to try yourselves. Okay, so here are 4 questions for you to try. For the first one, you're asked to find out how much money you've got left if you started with £20 and spent £M of it, you started with X pounds and spent £5 of it, and you started with £A and you spent B pounds of it. For the second, you're asked to find an expression for the perimeter of each shape. So remember, to find the perimeter, you add up as you go round the shape. Here, you're asked to find the formula for the length of a taxi journey. So, for the first one, it's a 3-kilometre journey and you're charged R pounds per kilometre. Look back to that first worked example if you've got any difficulties with it. For the fourth one, you are looking at finding the cost of different items in relation to the DVD player D. Okay, can you write down the questions, then have a go at answering them yourselves. Please pause, and then when you come back, we're going to work through the solutions. Okay, so looking at the solutions here, if I started with £20 and spent £M of it, what I'm going to be doing is I'm taking away however much I spent from what I started with. So it would be 20 take away M. For the second one, however much I started with, I take away £5 to find out what I've got left. So it's X take away 5. And again for the last one, it's what I've started with, take away what I spent, it's A take away B. For question 2, here I'm finding the perimeter of a square. Each side has length L. L plus L plus L plus L gives me 4L. Here I've got A plus B plus A plus B, which is 2A plus 2B. For the third one, it hasn't told you how long it is, it's just told you that it's A wide. It's 3 times longer than it is wide, so that's going to be 3A. So I've got A plus 3A plus A plus 3A gives me 8A. For question number 3, if I'm going for 3 kilometres and R pounds for each kilometre, I'm going to need to multiply them together. So the cost here, C, remember it's a formula, so I need my equal sign, it's 3 times R. Here, the cost is the length times by £2 for each kilometre. Here, the cost is the length times by whatever the rate is per kilometre. Okay, camera's £15 more expensive than the DVD, so it's going to be D plus 15. The laptop is 3 times as expensive as the camera. Remember the camera was D plus 15, so it's 3 lots of D plus 15. I need to multiply out those brackets, which is 3D plus 45. The total cost of the 3 items, I've got D for the DVD player, plus D plus 15 for the camera, plus 3D plus 45 for the laptop. I've got D plus 3D is 5D, and I've got 15 plus 45, which is plus 60. The change that I get from £1,000 is 1,000 take away 5D plus 60. Multiplying out those brackets, that minus becomes minus 5D. That minus times a plus gives me minus 60. It's 1,000 minus 5D minus 60. 1,000 minus 60 is 940, so it's 940 minus 5D. Give yourself a mark, please, out of 13. If you need any further help on this, please take a look at Hegarty clips 151 and 152.